despite the pandemic, literally every shared mobility project, whether that's micromobility, an e-bike share, or a kick scooter share, or car share, all have grown. You know, the initial days, obviously not because we all sat at home, but since then they've literally all exploded. Second fun fact, Vancouver is still the largest North American car share city.
What people don't know about motorcycling is that it's the most important form of transportation in the world. At 44% of global miles traveled, it is literally, you know, an economic necessity for 100 megacities worldwide with greater than 10 million people. What people also don't know is that 4/5 of the world of humans on Earth are not yet motorized. So that's all of Africa and large parts of Southeast Asia and many places where 4/5 of the world don't have any access to any form of motorized mobility. They're probably not going to be buying Teslas in the next 25 to 30 years, so that begs the question, what are they going to be buying? What kind of vehicle are they going to get around it to be as these people and these places become middle-class economies in the world a lot like ours, thanks to technology and you know, the influence of time. So you can kind of get a drift of where we're going here, right? Damon needs to become the future of transportation for 2- and 3-wheelers around the world, and we're going to start with superbikes.
Fun fact about hydrogen today is the fact that actually Europe has just now placed the largest order in history for hydrogen. They've now asked for something like 10 million tons of green hydrogen to be imported from all over the world, partially driven by the fact of the situation in Ukraine, but also driven by the fact that we need increasing amounts of clean energy if we're going to decarbonize fast enough. And amazingly, you know, to put that in perspective, that is more than an order of magnitude more than all of the green hydrogen, clean hydrogen that's currently being produced today. So we're at an enormous inflection point for where hydrogen has been, and it's wonderful to be in a place like Vancouver where we put decades and decades of effort to try and make this work.
Lucid Motors is a California-based technology company. Like what I like to say is that we are a technology company that is masquerading as an EV manufacturer, and we make the Lucid Air. Lucid Air is the longest range, fastest charging electric vehicle in the world at this moment. Yeah, we have 2 of them inside. Fun fact about this industry and myself is really around Canada and the expansion. I represent the Western Canadian sales team, and I have the privilege, I suppose, of being employee number 1 in Lucid Canada 1 year ago, almost today. Lucid Canada was myself sitting at my kitchen table, and by the end of this year, we will have 5 locations across Canada in a direct-to-consumer business, delivering cars and supporting customers take advantage of this amazing technology.
Revolutionize or maybe just optimize in our case. Obviously I work in shared mobility. I think there's a lot of autonomous and AI technology that is weaving its way in specifically on the micromobility side. So the kick scooters are getting smarter. So I think that's one. The other is on the infrastructure side. So I think there was a dock from Kumu side, which is agnostic, where you can dock different type of form factors, which just to the point, what are the emerging technology? I think we see a lot more different form factors specifically in the small vehicle segment, the 1-seaters and the 2-seaters. And then how do you have infrastructure deployed throughout the city to charge them and manage them also, so they're not, you know, a hindrance on the sidewalks. So I would say those are my 2.
Opportunity for a lot of companies who are, you know, market leaders or have raised let's call it a war chest of cash, because the vast majority of companies focus too narrowly on a very specific solution that needs to be part of a larger ecosystem to get to market. And one of the gentlemen in the lightning pitches made a point that his company sounded so similar to my first one 14 years ago, but the solution they're solving, infrastructure and purchasing and financing, is an integrated solution. You know, Tesla has 75% of the car market in electric vehicles. It's ridiculous. No one's ever had anything like that before. But that's because they integrated everything end to end, the way Lucid is doing and others. And so I think that's going to be an interesting opportunity, is to take so many good technologies and start to pull them together into a vertically integrated solution.
You stole my line and said it way better than me. But I couldn't say it better myself, honestly. Energy systems, also manufacturing processes. Advanced manufacturing is really picking up in the way that we can get automotive rates at aerospace quality. And as we try to find that sweet spot, I think we can really see some amazing high quality machines that can integrate so many of these technologies and then adapt as new technologies come online. So really excited to see how transportation can bring all these new technologies together, and aviation is no different. We call this term advanced air mobility. It's really just a term to say there's all of these technologies, they used to be sector specific, now they're kind of crossing paths against all of these different transportation verticals, and we're really excited to see how they all come together.
Maybe we need less technology, or technology that really focuses on that behavior change. How do we get people the same experience, the same seamlessness, the same reliability of having their own car downstairs, but without their own car downstairs?
I wanted something different. I wanted some people young who love technology. This is a technology company. I knew that I needed people who could speak at a really high level to battery chemistry and power management and luxury, and those are a lot of different things. And it took a long time to find the right people who, and in a lot of cases it was about taking risks on some people who were maybe 60 or 70% of the way there, and hoping that my own skill and my own ability that I could get them the rest of the way. But yeah, definitely challenging. And for us, being a car manufacturer, we were specific and dealer. We were looking for people not from the auto industry. We were looking for people from technology, from fashion, retail, high-end. We can teach them that stuff, but we can't teach them to be passionate and kind. So it was a challenge for sure.
I'm glad we're getting to this point in the discussion, because I think it's such a critical piece. Like, look, there's one person that looks like 50% of the population on this panel. We're the other. Like, one of the things we started at movmi, so initially, like, our core business is co-creating these projects, and for the first 5 years, we've done that, and we amplified other voices just to show there's other women working in the space. And still, every time we worked on a project, we ended up with maybe 2 women, but generally, 20% if we were lucky. So what we started 2 years ago together, and this is really like a pro bono initiative that we kicked off with ABB, ITS America, UITP, and we source female entrepreneurs, specifically female entrepreneurs that have anything to do with shared mobility. So it could be on supply chain, it could be chip, it could be charger infrastructure, whatever it is that feeds into our ecosystem. I'm very proud to say after 2 years, we have 33 female founded and owned and managed businesses in that cohort, which now allows us as movmi to tap into them. But it was, as you said, it's so hard. And I think it's also hard because you see the occasional one, you feel like you're underrepresented, right? Representation matters. So yes, 100%. The second point, I do want to pick up on the sexy. I don't necessarily think we need to make transportation sexy, but I do think we need to get it out, like start very early. We need to get change makers and young girls be very interested in transportation, because literally everybody needs to move around. It doesn't matter how old you are, how able-bodied you are, like we all need to get to places. So I think that's the other piece. We just gotta make it exciting. As I said, maybe not sexy, but exciting and safe to work in.
Thank you for sharing.